Hi and welcome back, and looks like there's a bit of trouble down at the old gym. So, I guess Getsis has paid for their bail or something. Oh yeah, that's what they did wrong. They castle rustled some Pokemon. Polka rustled. Oh, and Clay, what are you doing? You can arrest them. Theft is a crime, you know. But when I think about it, Pokemon doesn't really have any prisons, does it? So where would they keep all their criminals? Oh no, I just thought about it. Pokemon doesn't have any toilets either, so yeah, that raises some weird questions. And now, as you can see, these 7 sages, they don't really play a part here, but they'll come into the story sort of later on in the form of a side quest. And I guess it's a good thing, but essentially the 7 sages, because there's 7 of them, each one of them doesn't really get that much development, so they're kind of blank slates. I do also like how there's trucks in this world, but I guess they drive along these roads here. Huh. I wonder if there's a Mew underneath that truck. Now, if you've played Pokemon Gen 4, then this gym should seem quite similar to you, because this is obviously very similar to Byron's gym. It even has a very similar gimmick. Now, in Clay's case, his gym also doubles up as a mine, and he's of course a master of ground type Pokemon. But luckily on my team I have like 2 water types and a grass type. So, yeah, this gym it didn't really end up being too difficult really. Granted, there is a sequence here, and I guess you could be slightly muddled up, but if you keep trying, you'll eventually get down to the bottom fairly easily. Just try everything, you know, try every lift, every switch, and you'll eventually find your way down. I just, as a reminder, I do like the little orange traffic cone, although it is reminiscent of the logo you get for the VLC player. Now, about gym battles, I guess all these people here are disciples of Clay, or at least employees. Well, there's a few miners, a few admin. And I like the dinosaur bones in the background there. You know, you should resurrect a few. You know, get a Kabutops, get a Almastar. Oh, and apparently Clay's mining kryptonite here. Now let me see. I think Cumberbatch will be one of my star players for this battle, so I'll keep him in the background, as well as Charlie Brooker here, being a water type. So I'll save these 2 guys for later on in the battle. Now, Jack Black, even though he's a fire type and might be weak against ground attacks, there is actually a Pokemon his attacks will be super effective against, so I might consider using him. And of course David Mitchell, the Ducklet, yeah, he might be useful as well. Okay, Clay, this here will be a showdown. Okay, he'll start off with the crocodile. No, this guy. Oh yeah, that's what it is. So I start off with Tim Curry here. Now the idea being, I know Tim Curry won't be that good, but in this battle at least. But I'd rather I'd rather keep him in the back. I'd rather keep my good players in the background and then send them out when I need them. And I still have Jason Gordon-Levitt on my team, even though I'm not really going to use him. In fact, he's so under-leveled, I don't really see the point. But I guess it's okay if I get into trouble. Now, I'm using Payback here, and I know it's not very effective, but I'm kind of hoping it will do like double damage if Tim Curry is attacked second. But no, it turns out Tim Curry's just fast. So I don't really use Payback the way I want it to. But anyway, his job was to weaken this Pokemon, so that's good job, Tim Curry. Now, there's not much strategy here. Water beats ground. That's pretty much it. Poor Mitchell. Of course, him being a new Pokemon to my team, he doesn't really have a high happiness. So, of course, confusion is going to hurt him badly. Now, I would say that using Swagger and Torment is a pretty good combination, but it kind of isn't. Make your enemy confused, and then raise their attack, and then torment them into attacking. Now, this is Excadrill, one of the cooler Pokemon introduced in this generation, and actually probably one of the best ground types, period. Now, granted, he is half Steel type, so really Jack Black might have a chance against him, but I really don't want to risk it. Especially when you consider how fast this guy is. And yeah, the fact that he uses that attack to raise his attack, yeah, makes me a little bit worried. So at this point, I'm just hoping I can get a Bubble Beam out. Yeah, if that was a critical hit, Ruka would have been gone. So with a little bit of luck, yeah, I'll take out his meanest Pokemon. And I think Excadrill is banned in some tournaments because he's slightly broken. So anyway, Palpitoad, he's a water ground type. I have a very powerful grass type. Yeah, no prizes for guessing how this is going to end. Oh, poor Froggy. Well, thanks to the Battle Clay. Now, if I could just have my TM, and I'll be on my way. So, in terms of badges, that does take me over the halfway mark. So, yeah, this game at this point is progressing fairly fast. So, could I have my TM now, Mr. Clay, please? But anyway, a fairly enjoyable battle. Fortunately, at this point, my team is fairly varied. They have some decent attacks. Now, as I said before, in cold storage, you can actually get the TM Scald. And I would recommend you get that before this battle, of course. In fact, it might have been over quickly if my Water-type Pokemon all knew Scald. Okay, now heads up, on your way out, you will bump into Bianca again. So, yep. Again, this game has a sort of habit for surprising you with boss battles. Okay, her team is just slightly leveled up from our previous encounter. Again, she starts off with Herdia. and I respond with Tim Curry. But, you know, Jack Black, he is going to learn Hammer Arm, a quite powerful fighting type move. So, once he learns that, Bianca's team, or at least the Stoutland in it, will not be much of a threat. I love Fake Out. It's just such a sneaky little move to use. Anyway, again, I'm using Payback. It will do double damage if Tim Curry gets attacked in the same turn before the attack. It's kind of awkward to do, because I guess Tim Curry is faster than most Pokemon. Yeah, so when it comes to this Payback strategy, I don't really adopt it, I sort of abandon it. But hey, it was worth trying out at least. Luckily, he is taken down with Taken Down. Or she's taken down with Taken Down. Now, I sent Jack Black out against Duat, and I think I was just doing it for the experience. And of course, Duat is looking pretty cool here, and looking a lot more like a samurai. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking, you know, what the heck? Shall I just try and take him with Jack Black here? And to be fair, the Thrash move, it does it. I do it as well. So I can't remember what I was thinking. I think I was just taking a risk, and it actually paid off. Oh, Bianca, I'm beating your water type with my fire type. Yeah, maybe you should rethink this career. And now she sends out her Musharna, fully evolved form. Now again, this Pokemon, it's fairly defensive, but not really offensive. So it just becomes a war of attrition now. Although I have to remind myself to look up at the attack forewarn. I'm not sure what that does. Does it just let you know what attacks the other person has? Does it reduce the power of that specific attack? Because that's what it seems like it's doing. I mean, granted, Musharna could be really defensive, or maybe the power of my Bubble Beam has been weakened. Anyway, a minor point, but I do like the effect of Psybeam, where you have like these rainbow rings sort of shoot out at you. That's a pretty cool effect. It's trippy, dude. And I do essentially what I should have done 3 turns ago. Let Tim Curry handle this. Yeah, speaking of which, if they do introduce a Light type or Fairy type, maybe it would be good if they beat Dark types, just because I think Dark types are slightly overpowered. Maybe it's just me, but they just seem to be quite useful Pokemon. Oh, Musharna, you will now rest. Farewell, thy sweet prince, or whatever. A flight of angels sing thee to thy rest. Oh, Pansear. Again, Bianca, did you even find an elemental stone? Anyway, Bianca, you should know that duck beats monkey. Oh, you didn't know about that, audience? That is a universal fact. Duck beats monkey. I don't make the rules, I just break them. Oh, thanks for that, Bianca. Alright, Fly, useful HM, useful move. And that will be the end of this part.